All right. So what I wanted to do today was look at the games from today and yesterday's World Cup. We'll start with the Magnus match, then we'll go to the Duda match with Karyakin. Magnus played better this match, these two games, than anybody's ever played ever. These are like the two best games Magnus has played. And Fedoseev must have thought he was me. Because, I mean, it was embarrassing. And in the tournament, Duda obviously played the best in the tournament. Like, throughout the tournament. And he beat, I don't really want to say Vidit, but I'll say Vidit anyway. He beat Grishuk, Vidit, Carlsen, and Karyakin in a row without losing a game. Frankly, ridiculous. What is he, Wesley So? Yeah. Michael Fassbender's okay. He's a B. Yeah, Fedoseev was laughing after the games. He was like, man, I'm getting crushed over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wasn't even upset. He's just like, yeah, oh, well. Yeah, he knows what's, like, game recognizes game, obviously. You say that a lot.
What?
Game recognizes game.
What does that mean?
It's something the sports people say. So, like, you're LeBron and you're watching the Greek Freak, and LeBron's like, damn, that guy's pretty good. Because, he's good and that guy's good. So, yeah.
How did he do that?
You know what the problem is with game? Man, this is one of my favorite jokes ever, and the people are going to leave now because they're not going to like it. You know what game doesn't recognize?
I'm scared to ask.
Oh, man. I'm scared to say it. Do you know what it is? You know what it is?
I don't know.
It doesn't recognize when a helicopter is going down.
I knew it was going to.
That's what it doesn't recognize. JAA928 subscribed. Good. Yeah. It was Duda's day. That's correct. Oh, snap. Steve Carell. God damn. Kobe. Now I'm leaving. Yeah. Too early.
Too soon.
So the famous joke, which may not be a joke, is, I think it actually happened. A guy offered his grandmaster opponent a draw, like I moved 7. And the guy said, too early. Then he offered like I moved 15, and the grandmaster said, too late. So Fedoseev's white. Now, when I prepared for Alexander Matros, he plays the King's Indian usually. So I was looking at H4 to get him out of his prep. And then Fedoseev played H4. I played B3 on move 1 because there was some Russian hockey player I never heard of. I don't know who it was. And he came up to our board and the USCF official said that he had to make the first move, and he played B3, and that's what I played against Matros. It was weird.
I don't know what that means.
It's a complicated joke based on somebody who asked something in the beginning.
No, I was talking about the chat that I was reading.
Oh. Anybody? Does anybody get that? No? Nothing? Anyone? No? Ugh. You're all the worst. Viggo Mortensen's underrated. You know who else I like that's underrated is Vincent Cassell. That's your favorite, right?
I don't know who he is.
Yeah, he's great. Okay, as somebody pointed out today, there was a famous Russian hockey player, but he doesn't play in the NHL. He plays on some Russian team. And he makes the first move, and he wanted to play B3 because Karyakin was black, and he was rooting for Karyakin. So he wanted Duda to play B3 on move 1. So he thought if he played it, that would count.
Oh, okay.
The ceremonial first move.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so, yeah.
He thought it was a real first move.
I don't know. He's a Russian hockey player. Probably got hit in the head with a puck a lot. Okay. Back to actors. Big money, no whammy, stop.
Hey, Paul, drink water.
$99.99. Thanks, JAA928. That's 2 cents less than Mepex gave.
Oh, well. Thank you. That was a big donation.
That's correct.
I didn't.
Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah, she's a B minus. She's all right.
I'm trying to think what I've seen her in.
She's in every Tim Burton movie because they're married.
Oh, they're not together anymore.
But they were married
They
and not
were.
together anyway. They lived in separate apartments when they were married.
Yeah.
They're weirdos.
I think she was in that movie.
She was in.
Room with a View.
I'll tell you what she was in.
I liked her in that.
Well, I'll tell you what she was in. Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
I never told you that before. You know why, right?
Mm-mm.
We'll talk about Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ophelia. I saw that. in
Which
Hamlet.
actor was great in Fight Club, confusing the audience? Because you didn't think he was a great actor, but you were wrong. Let's see who gets it. That's right, Meatloaf. Meatloaf was in Fight. Did you see Fight Club?
Yeah.
Oh, Meatloaf's in Fight Club. He played Bitch Tits. That's who he played.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great. We knew Brad Pitt was a good actor. Meatloaf, we did not know. Yeah, Meatloaf was also in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He played Eddie. He sang a song on a motorcycle. Then Tim Curry killed him. So that was the end of that.
But what about the chess?
Yeah. Also, Brad Pitt was great in 12 Monkeys. And he was great in Snatch. Nobody knows which movie he was greater in. Nobody can figure it out. So H4 is suspicious, but that's how Fedoseev plays. According to the gawking rabble, Magnus thought forever here. Like many, many minutes. Like 17 or something. All right. And he played, normal chess. So he's hoping that Fedoseev overextends, and Fedoseev likes to overextend. Put it in H. Yeah, this is just a bad opening for White.
So why did
Yeah.
why did he go H4 if he wasn't going to keep running it on?
Now you're talking. Right.
So I thought he would
Right.
go H5.
Yeah, playing H4 then doing nothing about it is silly.
I didn't really. Okay.
2
so
cents,
that
2
was-
cents. $5.
so.
Small ball donation strategy. That's right. Yeah. See, when you put small players in basketball, they're faster and they shoot better three-pointers. They pass better. When you put in really tall people, they block shots, they get rebounds, they can dunk, and they're good on the inside. So, I don't know. Nobody knows. Yeah.
All right. I was just wondering.
What you have to do is play small ball and then have Rudy Gobert as your center. God damn. Okay. No, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. Yeah, finally it was clear after here he's going to play H5. And then he says, all right, no, you're not. So the problem with White's position is, this is usually weird because it can get kicked. But now you can't kick it, okay, because the Beastie Boys already did it. Kick it. I've concluded something today that very, 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 very few people will agree with. By very few, I'm going to say zero. Of the billions of people in the world, I'm the only one who holds this opinion. Ready? License to Ill is the best album ever. By the Beastie Boys. That's my conclusion. All right. So in this position, if you try to kick it and the knight goes to G4, 51.99. Thanks, Chess K Ham 8. Hooray! Normally, this pawn's here because people don't play H4 on move 3. Right? So if you play F4 and the guy plays knight G4, you can kick the knight with H3, kicking the knight.
Okay. Yeah.
But now that's on H4, if you play F4, I park here forever. It's a good parking space. So White can't play F4, and White can't play G4, and White can't move these pawns. So basically, if White was Indian, he could do Vishwanathan. Big money, no whammy, stop. 1184. Chess Karas, like the Grandmaster Karas. Yeah. Yeah, License to Ill is genius. That album changed music forever. Right, sweetie?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah, you agree with me that I'm the only one who thinks that. Right. Okay. Bishop f4. I'm a rebel. White's play doesn't make a lot of sense. See, in the King's Indian, when you have white, normally at some point you're trying to do this, and black's trying to do this. And here, white's not doing this and can't, and black is already dominating the king's side. And this pawn's on h4, so I don't know how white's going to castle king's side, and therefore white did not castle king's side. And white doesn't want to castle queen's side, so I don't know, white resigns, I don't know. See, white played h4, and then white played normally like he didn't play h4. Like, if he didn't play h4, this is completely reasonable for white. White can castle king's side, white can stop bishop g4, knight g4 with h3, and here, g4 is given away. And h4 is terrible if you castle king's side. King's no good. So a very bad position. Then he played gf because that's what Karen would do. Not only would Karen play gf, okay, you would consider it. I wouldn't even consider that. I would just take with the bishop without thinking. I would never consider gf. The most famous gf, for no reason, was played by Tal against Botvinnik. And he said, I know this move is bad, but, it'll confuse Tal. Now, if I remember correctly, and it was many years before I was born, so I probably don't. That may have been what happened. I think it is. This is Tal Botvinnik World Chess Championship. And Tal's like, well, that's no good, but, so what? He says, I'm the world champion. I can do whatever I want. Okay, so that reminded me of this because that's just silly. Okay, c6. Attacking the center. The queen can get out. I mean, this king has nowhere to go. The engine says white's fine, but that's because the engine plays perfect for white and draws. But if you're a human, you just take black and you try to win, and white has no plan. What's white going to do? Move this pawn? No. Move, no. Activate the bishop? No. Nothing. This bishop's great. This pawn's isolated. These are doubled. My queen has a lot of squares. I can attack the center, and white's king has nowhere safe to go. So it's terrible for white. King h7, stopping bishop h6. Now he moves the knight away, so his bishop's good, his knight has good squares. And now finally f5. That's a good rook, right? There's a lot on that f file. Rook a3. I don't know what Fedoseev's doing. What's his plan? What's that all about? Knight e5, good. Kasparov, when he was good, would dream about having black in this position from a King's Indian or Benoni. Okay. And Magnus played f4 because Magnus knows something that only my viewers know. So that means Magnus wants to watch my stream. You know what Magnus knows that only my viewers know? And he did it in this position. Yep.
No, I don't know.
Always sack the exchange. Yeah. And this is as natural as a baby's smile. And then the baby bit me. Damn it. Okay. Now, for a grandmaster like me, it's obviously good for black. Okay? If you're a lower-rated player, you just look at your engine and you see what your engine says. Right? And the engine says white's fine here. White is not fine here. This knight's here forever. This is the greatest bishop ever. This is the worst bishop ever. This is the worst pawn structure ever. And these pieces don't make any sense. None of white's pieces make any sense where they are. Okay, this knight, I mean, everything black has is great. And the long-term compensation is the dark squares. I own the dark squares. Well, I mean, Magnus does, not me. Yeah. And what's funny is the queen can't retreat this way, and it can't go this way. So it has to go here, and it's stuck forever. And Magnus played the obvious move.
Obvious?
Yes. There's only one move that you can play here. If you don't play, you're losing. This is a really good position for people under 2,000. Over 2,000, it's too easy. And the reason it's good is it's strategical, it's not tactical. Mm-hmm. The only puzzles you guys ever do is tactical. This is strategical. This is why you can't just sack the exchange willy-nilly unless you watch my stream. Then you can do it. All right, now I'm going to teach you the way Kaidanov taught me.
Okay.
What's White's next move? It's very clear what White has to do next move. Very clear. There's only one move.
So
if White makes this move, White's winning.
So, I'm sorry. So the last move was Queen G3.
Yes.
You're saying if White could go again?
Yeah, he has a winning move.
Okay.
It's the most obvious move. It's not tactical.
You always say that, and then I don't
but it's
know
not
what
tactical.
it is.
It's not tactical. If only Spencer was here, he would talk about pawn breaks. It's not a pawn break, but close.
An obvious move. I don't know.
Yeah, this is just all strategy. It has nothing to do with tactics.
All strategy. I don't know, maybe put the rook on the C file.
I mean, it's good to have the rook on the C file, but that doesn't help here.
But I don't see like the most immediate.
Yeah. The only move for White, most of the chat got it, is F4. After F4, White's winning. Because the knight has to get kicked out. The bishop on E2 is fine, and White's pawns can go forward. And he doesn't dominate the dark squares anymore. This pawn thwarts the bishop. If White never plays F4, this queen is trapped for the rest of the game. This rook's trapped for the rest of the game. My bishop has this diagonal for the rest of the game. My knight could go here later for the rest of the game. And you can't move anything. You're completely lost if you don't play F4. If you do play F4, Black's completely lost. Because the knight's kicked out. And then White's pawns actually make sense. Okay, so how do you stop F4? There's only one way to do it.
Let's see. Well, that seems. I don't really stop it. I guess Queen F8.
That's the only move.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I'm guessing that Magnus played this in less than 5 seconds. That's my guess. Yeah. Now, the engine likes White, and the engine's wrong. Okay? Usually the engine's not wrong. The engine's really good at tactics. And the thing is, the engine doesn't know that White can't move for 30 moves. I know that. Other grandmasters know it. The engine says White's up in exchange and a pawn, and Black can't win tactically. So eventually White will escape and be fine. But it shows you how much compensation Black has when the engine says White's slightly better when White's up in exchange and a pawn. It's like, all right, maybe this is and this bishop is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. And every Black piece is is amazing. All of them. I couldn't put Black's pieces on better squares. I mean, Magnus could, but I can't. And when this move is played, your queen's, I've never been so mad. And this is why, sacking the exchange is often correct, because this rook is useless as a Nevada boxing commissioner. And these bishops, 2 bishops, what else? Yeah. Now, it doesn't matter what the engine says. All grandmasters want Black here, including Fedoseev. Okay, so he played knight e3, bishop f4. See, that's a good queen, except for one thing. The knight looks like it's on a good square, but it can't go here, it can't go here, it can't go here. If it goes here, then you don't have your knight anymore. Okay. Rook c8. That's the only piece Magnus didn't, Rook c3. Now he has pawn weaknesses. Okay, now this job is done. We did that, right? There's nobody over here. So queen c8. Yum, yum, chomp, chomp, chomp. And then here, and here, and here. And you see this? That's unassailable, like my character. Kobe, right? Okay. 32 Fat subscribed. Isn't that like that's some kind of computer thing, right? 32 Fat? That's like some kind of filing system?
Yeah, I don't know much about it, though.
Chess Kham 8 gifted 10 subs.
Yay.
Wait. Oh, they gifted a total of 10 subs. Yeah. Etc. Go 32 Fat.
Yay.
Yeah. You know who likes 32 Fat?
No.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Okay.
Because he's fat. He's fat. You know it. Would I sit around the house? I really sit around the house because I'm fat. I'm fat. One of the lines is, I have more chins than Chinatown. Yeah. If you thought, the Bad News Bears was going to be Fat 32 better than Fat 16.
I'm hungry.
No. We're going to whatever, Cheesecake Factory. Yeah. That's a lot of chins. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is what's funny about this. You ready to be funny? The engine says it's equal. What would Donald Trump say to that engine evaluation? Wrong. Yeah. Right. If you showed this to the best grandmasters in the world and they would be on the floor laughing. Right. White can't move. Nothing. White has no plan. This is the worst position in chess history. You can't move anything ever. I'm not saying you can't move anything now. I'm saying you could never move anything. Like in 20 moves, you can't move anything. I never heard of such a thing. You can't do anything. Okay. He played c4. That's the engine move. Right. b5, because Magnus is good. You can't take this way because you got to watch your step over here. So he took en passant. Yeah. Now, this is even funnier than the last position. There's nothing you can move. Now, White tried to claim a draw here by stalemate, but you know what happened? This was really bad for Fedoseev.
No.
Is one of the FIDE officials was there, and it was Nigel. And he said, I'm sorry, if it's stalemate, you lose. Man, harsh. Yeah. Right. Miroslachenko and Grishik said they were laughing at what the engine was saying. Like it's White resigns. Yeah. Yeah, if a grandmaster has White here, he's embarrassed because he's getting outplayed so badly. He's like, oh my God, Yeah. Play on. Yeah, okay. Queen G1, there you go. See, now he's doing good.
That's pretty bad.
Okay. Queen A8, here I come, walking down the street. He gets the funniest looks from every vegan who doesn't eat meat, which is all of them. King F1, good, perfect. Okay, now in this position, the engine says this wins immediately. And Magnus did play it. And in this, see, that was good, right? Good. Well, see, rooks are better than minor pieces. Mm-hmm. So in this position, the engine says black is immediately winning by playing queen B. He didn't do this. He played queen A1. What Magnus did is funnier, though. So what Magnus did is better because it's funnier. The engine plays, his move wins too, plays this. You have to go here because there's no other move. And then B5. The problem is if you don't take that pawn, if you don't, right, then I can take this and queen it. Probably could queen it that way too. Because okay, but if you do take it, if you take it, and I take this, and probably what Magnus missed, I'm sure Magnus saw this, But he may have underestimated how good this is for black because he's a rook down. But that's it. The game's over. You're threatening the queen. The queen can't move. The only square is g2. That doesn't get captured. And then queen takes knight is mate. So this is +9 for black. That would have ended the game right away. And if he doesn't take here, I do that. So that's already winning. But okay, he won a funnier way, so I agree with what Magnus did, because he should be funny a little. He zigzagged. Yeah, I like that. He wants to play king g2 and get out of there. But you can't play king g2 because your bishop's attacked. So he zigzagged over there. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. And then he looked at him at this point and said, how do you like your position, bitch? And I asked Magnus, because we text occasionally, I said, where did you learn that? And he said, Artemis. That's one of your favorite bitches, right? Artemis?
Yeah.
All right.
I love that.
Right.
That character.
Queen g2. Now white's doing well. King g7's funny. It's just like, aha, you can't move. See that? Yeah. Now the attack comes, except it's defended. Yeah. Probably Magnus was just going to do this. Because, why not? White can't move. I've never seen anybody of this strength with white looking so helpless. You can't move. And this is why I say sack the exchange. If the rook's not active, it's not helping you. The minor pieces in the middle game always can get active. You just move them somewhere. The rooks are like, there's stuff in my way, right? Like if this was a knight, knight here, take the bishop, all right. This was a bishop h2, trade the bishops. It's a rook, so it just sits there crying. All right, now Fedoseev is a very active attacking player, so he's more upset than all of us are because he's a lot better than us too. So if somebody's like an active attacking player like Fedoseev, they really want to have black here, and he has white. That's why after the game he was laughing. It was like embarrassing. Like he wasn't even mad that he played bad. He's just like, damn, what world am I in? Okay, there you go. It's Queen h1. You missed that. Okay, e6. It doesn't matter what he does. He's trying to give his rook away. Magnus is like, whatever. Yeah, he literally doesn't care. Now, the reason he didn't play CD is very funny. You ready for the funny? Mm-hmm. Okay, here's why. Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
So he took this way. That way, he stopped him. Yeah. Now Magnus has more squares. Now this is seriously getting close to stalemate. I mean, black has to be careful here. Yeah. White isn't a GM. White's like top 25 in the world. Yeah. Yeah. Go Magnus. Okay. Rook G1. Now white's active. See? No, what Fedoseev is thinking here, because if I was playing white, this is what I would be thinking. He's thinking, like, what are people going to say about me and think about me, about this game? Like, is Grishuk never going to talk to me again because it's too embarrassing to be seen with him? Look at that queen.
Oh, the lighting is just going in and out.
Okay, so king f7, because that way Fedoseev has to move again.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Rook g3. Then he decides, my knight's good here, my knight's good here. I don't know. He's like, please take my rook. And he's like, whatever. Finally, he can take it and win all of his pawns. Then he goes back, which is funny. Yeah. Now, what's funny is in this position, you could take the pawn, right? But he went here because, move. I double dare you. Yeah, and he resigned here. Man, the truth hurts. Crazy Viking subscribed. Good. I have a question. A serious question. Doesn't this say the exact same thing as that?
Yeah.
What?
Well, Twitch is kind of glitchy.
Twitch is glitchy. Why isn't he resigning? He resigned here. Yes, very similar to Kasparov Ivanchuk. I thought it was 94. Was it 91? Probably was 91 and I forgot. Also, Ivanchuk was white. Yeah, he resigned here. Yeah, he just can't move. Now he's not even up material. It's funny how his king can't move because his bishop would be captured, and his bishop can't move because he'll be captured. And he was like doing this, right? Yeah, now he's just going to lose all his pawns, and the guy's going to queen, and he'll get mated. Yeah. Now, probably the caps thing is going to be off here. I don't think the caps engine understands how good Magnus's position was. So it's not going to say he played 99.9 because it's going to think that white was doing fine that game. And it's wrong. So I don't trust caps at all here. If it doesn't say 99.9, it's wrong. I mean, I'm going to do the fast one because we don't have time for the slow one. Yeah. And also, I know you can't see half the board. I literally don't care. If you can't see the board, maybe you could donate or something. I don't know. Kamsky, Ivanchuk, Samish Nimzovich. The ultimate Zugzwang game. Yeah. That's Karen's favorite.
I gotta look something up. What?
What? Now, when Nimzovich played in the Southern Open, Karen, what was his most famous game? She's too busy looking at beefcake. She doesn't know what I'm talking about. It's Nimzovich, some bitch. Right. That's right. Fix the overlay. It is fixed. It's the way I want it. I'm just seeing what the game report is. I'm not looking at the board. The board doesn't matter. We're not doing anything on the board right now. All right. See, this is why this is wrong. It says Magnus played 98.6 and Fedoseev played 97.4. If you played 97.4, you wouldn't get beat like that. Yeah, it says Magnus made 2 mistakes. Incorrect. Terrible.